Let's go.
Good.
This is Cubs Radio.
Cubs Radio.
What's the time? 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 It's 1 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock.
Steve,
Huh?
we're on.
Oh. Well, is it that time already?
It is that time.
You've caught me. I'm brushing up. I'm trying to brush up on my reading. I'm reading. What am I reading? Oh, look at this. Little Dr. Phil.
You've been reading that book for a long time.
Well,
now.
I'm a slow reader. I was
sorry.
reading the chapter on how to man up, your man plan. So what he tells you to do is to find that inner jambalaya. He wants you to find your inner soup, I think.
Inner jambalaya.
I think I was reading of Emerald and Doctor. I think I confused them anyway. What do you think? What do you think of my new
they look
glasses?
nothing alike. They're very becoming. Is that
Dr. Philistine recommends I use a thicker lens. He thinks that'll help me driving.
Gucci?
It's gooky.
Ah.
It's actually gooky because I can't really see. But let me take them up.
I wipe your mouth. You got a little spittle.
Yeah, it's the new pipe. I'm trying the pipe and glass look. I want to
gotta
trying a
you
little
have to
more.
work on that.
All right. Anyway,
Telling you.
well, here we are. Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K, along with the inevitable. Oh, I have to say he's actually you might have seen him. He just starred in the. He had a small role in the Captain Marvel vehicle, and I thought you were tremendous,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for the one, the only Steven Mandracina.
Thank you.
Oh my God, are you in trouble with the police?
I don't know. What's that?
I don't know.
It's always the chopper.
It's a chopper. So how are you doing today, Steven?
Great. I'm great.
So you might have noticed, I always like to do our intro song to something related to what's happening in the world.
Something timely.
Something timely. Thank you. We had a time change. I don't know
Speaking
if you
of
know this. I hope our audience knows this, that you are not tuning in. Now, what would they do? Would they tune in an hour later? Now, what is it? Yes, is today Tuesday? How far did we have to change time?
This is okay. So it's 6:30 now.
Mm-hmm.
It was 5:30 at this time. No, it was.
No.
Oh no, because it's still light. It would have to be.
Well, look at the clock right there. It says they didn't change it. It says 5:30. So we sprung ahead, Steve. We spring ahead, we fall back. That's the old adage. That's
So
what
that's
my
right.
mom
That's why
always
we
says.
said 5:30.
My mom says you spring ahead, you fall back. So I hope she's listening and she did that herself, or else she's all off. But I tried to set up the computer and everything so my mom could hear the show, enjoy the show, and usually I come out and she goes, I couldn't hear anything.
Yes.
The thing was circling. Ugh. And she gets upset. But lucky for her and for our audience that you can enjoy us many different ways. One of which is on YouTube, which we are live now. You can go to the YouTube channel, The Steve Squared Show, and jump on there. You can subscribe. We'd love to have you come aboard. Give us your comments. We got Sally and Anthony in the booth.
As always.
As always, they're doing a fabulous job for us. And we're also on Instagram, The Steve Squared Show, Twitter, Steve Square. Now, you know it's The Steve Square. There's no D on Twitter.
There's no D on Twitter.
No,
it's
we're just
Steve
Steve Square. We're not allowed to. Hey, I want to test you right off the bat.
Already.
Give our listener,
test.
well, let's hope it's listeners. Give our, hopefully, give our listeners the call-in number just in case they need some help.
Well, Steve.
Oh, look, I didn't write it. You're the worst. The absolute boo. Oh, you know what I got for you?
Wrong.
No, I got something even better for you. Hold on a second. Maybe I didn't have it. Where's my good one? All right, I'll give you a wrong. Didn't even work.
Okay.
Anyway, you might have noticed my shirt. Did you
I
see,
like that shirt.
Do you like that shirt?
Yes, I do.
I'll tell you why.
Wrong.
That's better. Thank you. this shirt here. Let me stand up so everybody
Mind you,
can you
so
see?
we got a close up.
Yeah. So describe the shirt to the audience, Steve.
Well, it looks like a picture of a mini Freddy Krueger there, and
Read the saying.
it says "Stay woke."
Yeah. So what I was able to do with this shirt is involve millennials, because we all know we love the term woke, right?
It's woke.
It's woke. And there's obviously the time change, so you don't want to fall asleep, especially behind the wheel. Did you know this? And I was speaking, Sally was talking about this too, about this increase in emotions, mental emotions, health, people getting in car accidents because they are asleep. I mean, it's only an hour, for God's
Heart
sake.
attacks increase by 10%
Well,
during daylight savings.
Are we that weak that we can't handle an hour time difference? That the whole thing has to go off the rail.
People are on the edge anyway. They're not getting enough sleep as is. So
I was not in a good. Now I talked to you yesterday. I mean, part of it, 93% of it was your fault, but I was not in a jovial mood.
well, thank God you didn't have any weapons.
That's true. To get in a jovial mood, what I like to do, and to knock off our first sponsor of the show, is Break Open. You might have known this. I like to enjoy a nice Celsius drink. It's a cool, sparkling, refreshing beverage. Get yourself a Celsius today. I do.
You enjoy that frosty beverage now?
Well, it's not frosty. But speaking of frosty, we're going to talk about a frosty beverage. You know what I'm talking about. It seems our friend, Ariana, is not so grande. Oh, give me something on that.
I don't know. It's your control. There you go.
Not a kitty. No. Thank you. Okay, so apparently, let's start off with this little. Oh, first let me get my straw. What's on your phone? You seen anything on your phone worth talking
no,
about?
I have notes.
Just keeping yourself occupied. You got notes on your phone?
No, I have information just so.
I like info. So apparently, Ariana Grande, she finally pairs, and I've been waiting for this for a long time. This was my idea a long time ago. Obviously, she should pair with Starbucks, which is what she does. Right? You would
Yes.
know, you see what's going on in Starbucks.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So they come up with this drink. They finally pair. It's called the Cloud. What's it? The Cloud Macchiato?
The Cloud Macchiato comes in caramel and cinnamon.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Hot or iced?
Oh, that's a lot of choices. I don't know. Do people have a hard time making choices?
Some do. I'd probably recommend the iced version, but I don't think. Well,
anyway,
I'm just saying.
So, Ariana Grande is always big on her veganness. She loves the earth. She loves the planet. She does. But one of her fans called up Starbucks. I don't know why they did this. One of her maniac followers. And
Well, she supported this. She was a big fan of this drink, the Cloud Macchiato.
the Cloud Macchiato.
Now, of course,
What happened here?
like everything else at Starbucks, it's made mostly the go-to ingredient is milk,
This
like
is true.
dairy milk.
Moo.
And Ariana is
A vegan.
a vegan. So she played it cool and she went on Twitter and she said, try the soy version. Because, of course, soy is
Because you know why?
healthy.
Right.
Soy is good.
It's
right?
good. Plus, it also kept her out of trouble. But when she was negotiating, her agent, they were sitting.
No dough, no show.
Exactly. So if there was the money was on the table, she signed the deal. Her fans weren't happy. But the whole vegan thing is a bit of fugazi anyway. I don't even understand
that's the
this.
thing. She signed on for this thing.
Stop it.
And the fact is that the ingredients you make this cloud with
It's true. It's really unfair.
is made with egg whites.
Oh, wait. So that's not good either.
No, that's not. That's not good if you're a vegan.
It's not good. Well, she should get off this vegan thing. What is she doing?
I don't know.
She dates Pete Davidson. She goes on vegan. So apparently now listen to this. This is interesting. So now she has to, as punishment, I don't know if you read this, she has to work in a local Starbucks. And when they come, I got some audio of her.
that true?
Yeah, so she has to. So that's going to be the new line that they're going to be using. You want to try that out? Thank you, next.
Thank you, next.
And while they throw a hot cup of cloud macchiato, right in her face, right in her Ariana Grande face.
That's true. That'll be fun.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's fun.
what do you think of that story? I thought you'd like that as a kickoff.
It's a little silly, isn't it?
No.
No.
I like calling people out for frauds that they are. If they're going to take me for all my money, I'm going to call them
You're
out.
not even in character. You don't have your glasses on.
I couldn't see a thing with them. I got to go back to Dr. Feinstein. No, that's not who's my optometrist? I go to that other guy in, what the hell's his name? Dr. Cohen? No,
Dr. Pearl?
Dr. Pearl. That's who I go to. No, it's Dr. Cohen. You wouldn't know my doctor anyway. So I go into what? He's a good doctor.
Okay.
They actually have some nice music that they play. But going back to this time thing, were you able to adjust to your time thing?
No, because I had gone out with people from work and I only slept for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I had to be at work at 5:30. So.
Wow. You would now. You see, you would now here. I'm going to call you out because you're a fraud. You know why? This is an early.
This is unacceptable!
This is unacceptable because you would never, ever go out if you knew you had to get up early with me.
I didn't like to do it that night either.
And I saw what you did. You were at the Monkees.
I was.
What was that? A Monkees tribute?
Yes.
Was it the original
No,
Monkees?
it was the What's Left of the Monkees.
Which is what?
Mickey
Paul and Ringo?
No, that's another band.
Okay.
Mickey Dolenz and Mike Nesmith.
That's great.
Yeah, you know.
Another Pleasant Valley Sunday.
That's right.
I know. Think I don't know?
They were celebrities.
I'm no
there,
chimp.
too.
Oh, yeah? Who was there? Ariana Grande?
Brian Williams was there.
Don't know who that is. Isn't he the newscast host?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So a few people were upset about this time change. Nobody could get it together.
One step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time, one step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time.
So even Sylvester Stallone had a problem with the time. He didn't
Obviously.
know. Yeah. So it was just it's a little bit of a problem. But I looked up a little information why we do this because I was curious. And this started a long time ago. I'm talking really a long time ago, not like a month ago. I'm talking Ben Franklin time, 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
So he writes this little whatever they called them essays back then, and he talks about conservation of light. There's all this minutia. So he was the first that he planted the seed. He was always planting seeds, Ben Franklin.
Right.
Now he invented the toaster, right?
The stove.
Okay. So because you guys have one, right? The Ben Franklin stove.
I think I do.
That's Edison.
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay. I don't know if the Ben Franklin has a stove.
Ben Franklin invented the stove.
Okay, I'll check. You check that while I'm talking. So he writes this essay, but then fast forward to 1901. This guy from London, William Willett, he pushes hard. He spends money. He lobbies to Parliament for this push ahead of the clock change, thinking this would be a great idea in London and it would save people money, and I don't know why. It's minutia. So he spends a fortune and a good part of his life lobbying for this. 1915, this guy passes away. 1916, they pass it. Good for him. That's good. Good for them. That's just the way London people would do things. And you know what he said?
Wrong.
This is unacceptable!
He was on
This is unacceptable!
He was very upset, which I would be too. So anyway, that was the story of time change. So fast forward, now the U.S. does it in World War I, World War II, because they use it as this whole, pitch it as a conservation thing.
Right.
After the wars ended, they're done with it. No more time change. Everybody could be on the same time. Then you go to 1970s, and that crazy Tricky Dick, which is being a series now on CNN. My mom and dad are watching this. Yeah, they're enjoying that. He pushes it into play, this time change for some reason. But I know the reason. We all know it now. He thought that extra hour would have gotten him out of trouble at Watergate. I think he thought that extra hour I can shred more documents, which it obviously never worked out for him.
Bravo.
And, you know,
Bravo.
that didn't happen for
Bravo.
him. Because then, you know what happens, what happened to him?
FBI, open up!
That wasn't good.
Yeah, that was over.
Right after that, it's over. When you get a knock on your door like that, there's a lot of knocks you want to get. You don't want to get something like that.
FBI, open up!
Yeah, that's when you want to open up. Or go out the back door. I don't think you had was there a back door to the White House?
I guess so. It's a house.
Well, that's true. It's a big house.
It's a big house.
You know, I used to tell my friends, because my parents live in a White House, and I used to say, it's the White House.
Of course.
And we have a fire hydrant in front. So those were always my two landmark things to look for. The White House, the fire hydrant.
The first manufactured cast iron stove was produced at Lynn, Massachusetts in 1642.
Okay.
This stove had no grates and was little more than a cast iron box. About 1740, Benjamin Franklin invented the Pennsylvania fireplace, which incorporated the basic principles of the heating stove.
You know what I think of that?
What do you think?
Time can be rewritten.
It's true.
Should we go back in time?
Yeah. So
would you
you
do?
were right. Very good, Steve.
I don't expect anything. I love. It's all right.
You carry your weight in the Steve Squared Show.
I didn't invent the stove. Ben Franklin did.
That's
It's all
true.
right.
Well, that's why I only gave you a little love.
Okay.
I saw a couple of movies this weekend. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
I saw a couple of movies. I'll give you the appetizer before the main one. Obviously, the main one is Captain Marvel.
Of course.
But let's go. I like to see all types of movies, so I did peruse Stan and Ollie.
Oh, wow. How was that?
So Stan and Ollie, for our listeners that might not know who Stan and Ollie is, it's Laurel and Hardy, the tag team vaudevillian silent screen then to voices act back in the early 1920s, 1930s, 40s. So,
Probably 20s they were on silent movies.
Right. So then they started getting in a little bit into their little shtick. So like almost like a quasi pre-Abbott and Costello, if you will. Anyway. So the movie had Steve Coogan, John C. Reilly.
Right? Playing Laurel and Hardy.
Playing Laurel and Hardy. It was good. I would give it a C+, or a... It was just fine.
It was just fine.
It was fine. It was okay.
Two good actors.
Two good actors, and like I was telling you on the way over here, I would have enjoyed to see more of their beginnings. I like to see how everything starts, the creation.
Right.
I don't want to see, I'm interested in seeing how the Earth was created. I don't need to know what's happening now.
Right.
I know what's happening now. We're sitting here doing a show.
Well, from my understanding, this was towards the end of their careers, right?
The very end, yes. He had ballooned up to about 300 and plus pounds, and the other one couldn't even see straight. So these two senile people, you know, their stupid thing, and he has the toy, and he goes like this, and boy, people.
That could work.
People are very easily entertained back in the day. You could just, you know, whether it's Three Stooges or Laurel and I know. I'm just, you know, we could have done something like that. We would be great in silent films.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's where we need to be. Something where nobody can hear us.
If it was just...
that easy.
60 years early, 70, 100 years
60.
early.
Come on, Steve.
I'm going too far back. Siblings, whatever.
So, hey, you didn't give our listeners the call-in number. You were looking.
I don't have
I
the
will
number. You're
give it.
absolutely right.
Let
I
me
don't have
give
the
it.
number. And you don't have the number either.
I have it in my head.
You have it memorized?
Sure, here we go. 516 46 I think it's 465-3900.
There you go.
I believe that's 465-3900. Give us a call, enjoy yourself. Steve is manning the phones. Our operators are standing by. You can talk to Steve
Hello.
with a small donation to the show. $50 gets you 50 seconds with Steve.
Please don't talk to me.
A $200 donation gets you 2 minutes. Actually, you can then give Steve a ride home because otherwise I have to take him home. So with a small donation, if you can drive to Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, you can give Steve a ride home. You guys can chat the whole way home. That's that's special right there. What do you think about that?
That is magical.
The one good role that I enjoyed in Stan and Ollie, let me see where she is. I wrote it down here somewhere because I wanted to remember the actress's name. She was fantastic. Or the actor's name. Nina, speaking of Ariana, Arianda. Nina Arianda. She played Stan's wife. Oh, she was fantastic. She was so good, funny. I believe she was European, maybe from Russia.
Right.
She had a great, funny accent, and she was very stern and strict, and she was really, really funny.
You wouldn't expect them to
No.
either of them to be married to someone like that.
Not at all. And he was married to this little petite woman. I think her name was Lucille. I'm not really that was his wife's name. I don't know what the actress name is. She was good too. But yeah, go out and see. You should see it. You would enjoy it. That
I
seems like
should go
something you
see
would
it.
enjoy. You get in one of those big cushy chairs.
Oh yeah.
And you like? What do you like? What do you order? You get the extra large popcorn. Or what do you get?
Usually extra large popcorn and
get-
a large Coke.
And a lot, right?
That's fine, right? That's not gonna hurt me.
Well, soon you'll be able. Speaking of Coke, vanilla orange Coke is out.
We talked about this last week, and I have seen it in the store.
It's in now. It took us. We were a little ahead of the curve that first day, So a lot of people say it tastes like baby aspirin.
I like baby aspirin.
If you enjoy if you enjoy a jar of baby aspirin, you would enjoy your vanilla orange Coke. That's how I can describe it. Have a Coke and a baby aspirin, and you're in all your glory.
And there, the blood's all going to go
Now
to your head.
I like orange. You can see I'm enjoying an orange beverage as we
I
speak.
see. It's a Celsius.
Yeah.
All natural.
This is vegan, Ariana. So if Ariana's watching our show, which I think she does she subscribe to our show?
I believe she does.
Oh, I hope so. Now, this is vegan, because you always want to check on the back, and it says vegan. Check on the back of your mochachaca. What is it called? A mochachaca?
Mochaccino.
Mochaccino. My dad had a 67 mochaccino,
Oh, those were great.
right?
The 65 was better, though.
Yeah, I mean, it had the dual
65
exhaust.
was classic. Yo,
My dad used to pile us all in. We drive to the beach. Oh,
that's what you take to the beach.
You take the mochaccino. We used to drive down the Parkway. We used to live in Brooklyn,
I heard.
I was a tough kid in back in the day.
You still are.
Actually, we moved when I was 1.
Oh,
Yeah. It wasn't good for me there. I don't even think, I was never there. But, we did originally emigrate. What would it be called? Migrate?
Migrate.
We migrated, not really such a westward expansion, if you will, not the Monroe Doctrine.
Went east.
We went east, thank you. Oh, well, yeah, that would be east anyway. So we went towards Long Island, and there we are. And now we're in Governors.
There you go.
See, I did the whole story like that. I took you through the story of my life.
Work, Steve.
So the other movie I saw, and here's the big one. Mm-hmm. It's been doing wonderful in the box offices, making $150 quadrillion.
Which means it's great, right?
Well, okay. And I usually equate money with greatness. I love, I enjoy money.
Who doesn't?
That's true. Well, the movie had like an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, there was this whole this whole thing came out, this little controversy with Rotten Tomatoes because it had this. The day it came out, it already had like a 30% rating.
Ooh.
So what happened was, Rotten Tomatoes, I guess they were under a lot of pressure. The functionality they had to change because they were getting a lot of people that hadn't seen it yet before the release that maybe were able to get on their site and start
Right,
reviewing
right.
like on the previews.
Right?
And so they didn't, and these might have been trolls, these might have been bots or whatever, but, it was, I feel...
The Russians don't like the Marvels.
That's true. It wasn't a Russian hack.
A bot.
It was a bot.
Russian bot.
Russian bot. Those are great drinks. The Russian bot, I had one. So the movie was okay, but again, it wasn't anything special. It was just kind of what one of these Marvel action movies are. I mean, I am more partial to Spider-Man. I like Thor. I like Iron Man. I mean, I think it was about her being a female instead of them just enjoying the action of the movie. I think they were so much trying to push that, and it was not necessary if you put out a good movie.
Right.
Like Wonder Woman, I enjoyed.
I liked Wonder Woman also.
And they focused on the Wonder Woman story, and they weren't worried about always accentuating, oh, look, Wonder Woman,
Look, I'm a woman.
Right.
And I'm a superhero.
Didn't need it. Just make the movie. The movie's great. The story's there. We all love Marvel. Marvel sells itself.
Yes, it does.
it answered a couple of questions. It talked about, you found out a little bit about how Captain Marvel started, how she was born. It goes back to Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson, who plays Nick Fury, and he's back more It's more set in the 90s, so it's the prequel to the Avengers and to him setting up the Avenger program.
Right.
So he's just kind of a little more naive, and he's more younger. I don't know how he played younger, but I guess they dyed his hair. So
He had a wig.
He had a wig.
Yeah, he's bald.
Oh, he has a little. Well, that's
Sam? Oh.
No, sometimes I thought he shaved it.
Last time I saw him, he was
clean,
shaven.
Okay. So whatever they do to him, and what else did they? Stan Lee makes his usual cameo.
Right.
So that was a good scene. I thought was funny on the bus when she's fighting the Skrulls. She's got this little fight scene going on in the bus, which the fight scene was okay. I always like to use the poles. I do that in the subway too. When I need to kick somebody in the ribs, I grab onto the poles, I do a side plank, and I kick everybody in my way.
Nice.
So Stan Lee he's on the bus, and he's rehearsing his lines for his role in Mallrats, right? Which was coming out at that time.
That's funny.
That scene with him and Brody.
Yes.
So that was cute.
Was Brody in it also?
No.
Okay, that would have been funny.
That would have been. But it was, so it had some, it was trying to give some background of how the Avenger program was starting, and it was just kind of what it was. I wasn't thrilled with it. It was okay. They what else did they there was something confusing with. They have these stones. Like she was started with the Infinity Stone or something like that, and then one of the others has a Space Stone, and that the Space Stone is the one that Carol Dever, Brie Larson plays, and that stone is supposed to be able to take care of everybody. She can crush anything.
Right.
But they had it reversed in this movie or something like that. It's opposed to the comic strip where her stone is more powerful than anybody else.
Right. They changed it for the movie.
They kind of changed it, which whatever. Nobody cares. But otherwise, it was just an action flick with Brie Larson, and I'll give it I don't know what I would give it on a Rotten Tomatoes. Right now it's sitting at 80%. It'll probably be like 60s,
right?
If that.
So.
Plus, I had a problem with a couple of things that she said. Did you hear her little comments?
No.
Brie Larson.
Oh, really?
When she came out before the movie, she was like talking about some of the other movies, and she was like, "I don't need these, middle-aged men." Telling me, about my movie. She said middle-aged white men, and things like that. And she was just like singling people out. She was, she was like trying to push the whole thing. So, it gave her a little bit of, she's just trying to get clicks. It's whatever. I would have had somebody I had some other people that I would have enjoyed seeing play.
Really?
Yeah, sure. I would have I would have brought back maybe like a Kirstie Alley. No.
I don't know if she's.
What about
is she
that?
in shape for that?
I'm a trainer. I could have helped her.
She's in her 60s, probably.
Well, that would have been a stretch.
Maybe older.
Well, let me see how about Ariana Grande? And she could have pitched her coffee during the way.
Ugh.
Right? She could have, been fighting and doing her thing.
And then what happens?
And then what happens? So as she's fighting and knocking off the Skrulls, she's like, "Thank you, next."
Okay, that works. There you go.
I should have cast the movie. Anyway, what's your favorite Avengers? What's your Marvel movie?
God, you know what? They've meshed all into like a one big thing. But I like Spider-Man. I always like Spider-Man. Disappointed with how they can't really seem to get it totally right. But I like that. I like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That was good.
I like both 1 and 2. Captain America, Winter Soldier was good. Robert Redford, that was crazy. Yeah. When I went to see it, I said, who would ever think Robert Redford would do a Marvel movie? I said, wow.
That was like, he's Mr. Indie, Sundance guy.
No,
and he does
Robert
Redford.
He's Robert Redford. Not just that, he's a movie star.
But when you look at Ant-Man and you look at those, they're starting to do that. That's kind of like, we even talked about Marissa Tomei playing Aunt May.
Well, that's a weird
I just think that some of them are jumping in. I think it's a trendy thing to do now to get in. Not that he just did a bit part. He was a major
He
role.
does. He was.
In,
he was
in
the
that.
heavy too.
He was. Yeah.
Robert Redford never played the heavy.
What are you talking about? What was that movie with Woody Harrelson and Marissa Tomei?
Oh, that's right.
The Proposal.
Proposal. Was that Demi Moore?
Demi Moore. Thank
That
you.
was Demi Moore.
Yes.
Yes. That's the only. Other
I mean,
time
he wasn't.
played the
I mean, he wasn't heavy, but he was not a nice guy.
No, he wasn't a nice guy.
No, you don't want to proposition Demi Moore or Woody Harrelson. They get you every time. But so he played in that movie. There is a Spider-Man movie coming out where Spider-Man meets Nick Fury.
Yes.
With Samuel Jackson. It's Spider-Man Far From Home.
I think that's the name of it.
Yeah. So we should go see that. But I think that comes out in the summer.
Yeah.
Does it
it's
show a release
it's
date on
coming
that?
out this summer.
Yeah. So we can definitely go see that.
Yeah.
There's another problem.
It's high
I like
noon.
how you find out how Fury loses his eye.
Yes.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That was big.
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
That's right. Yeah. That's another little tidbit that Sally just mentioned to us is how you find out how he kind of loses his eye in the Captain Marvel. So that, yeah, they do provide some answers to some things, some questions. So that was actually, I like that. I like Samuel Jackson. I think he's good in that role.
I like him too.
He's like very, he's got that kind of dry humor. That's
Yes.
funny. I mean, and they had a little banter together. They were, cute in some little moments, whatever.
July 5th.
July 5th. That's when we'll go see Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yes.
That'll be a good movie.
And what a cast. Tom Holland, of course, is Spider-Man. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal's in that?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal plays Mysterio.
Oh,
He plays a bad guy.
that's going to be good.
Sam Jackson. John Favreau will be there playing Happy.
Ah, of course. I love John Favreau. He's always playing like something like a role like that. That's good for him. I enjoy that. So here, let me take this out.
What you got there?
So I stop into a 7-Eleven. Little note about 7-Eleven. If you're thinking about, there was a slushy scare on Long Island. If you're thinking about getting a slushy, don't go to the Merrick 7-Eleven. You know why? Take a guess.
Hepatitis.
Not only hepatitis, that was a bad one right there, but hepatitis A.
Hey,
Yeah, that's not good.
that's not good.
So,
Just because this guy didn't wash his hands.
yeah, you heard about this story?
Yes, I did.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me that. I didn't know you
It's
heard
in
about
the
this
comment.
story. See, if you would have known.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. So, if you are in the mood to get a
my life.
and if you love your life, don't go to the Merrick 7-Eleven.
I believe that's North America.
North Merrick. Sorry. Otherwise, they said there's nothing to worry about as long as you didn't come into our store.
It's all good. The county executive came on and she
It's
said,
fine.
everything's fine.
It's all. I love how everything's always fine. Nothing's fine.
Go back to your homes. It's all good.
It's not fine. It's just not
It's
fine.
just
Wrong.
It's
it's
not.
wrong.
It's not good.
Yes.
So I don't know.
We're gonna have to go right to ludicrous speed.
That's true. So anyway, I got this
Lottery ticket.
lottery ticket. Thank you.
Hopefully you didn't get at the North Merrick 7-Eleven, though.
No, it's hepatitis free. I
Yeah,
asked for the
so-
hepatitis free lottery ticket.
You wiped it down.
I did.
Okay.
So, if you, take a look and tell me if you see anything. Look on this corner. Tell me what you see.
The right-hand corner.
Yeah, look in the right-hand corner, if you will, for our audience,
It says here.
our listeners.
All right, you have $100.
Mm-hmm.
Now the name of this is win $1,000 a week for life.
Right.
So that's what we're doing here.
So what you need to do to win the big grand prize of $1,000 a week for life
Right.
is get 3 lives.
Let's get 3 of them. Okay.
So what do you see there?
So let's see. We've got a 100. Okay, not bad.
Not bad.
40.
40. That's not good.
Life.
We got life.
I hope this means $1,000 for life, or it sounds like life in prison or something like
No,
that.
1,000. So we got 1
We
life.
got 100, 140, 1 life. You have a $10.
$10.
Oh wait,
What do we have?
you have another life here.
I love my life.
So
you have 2 lives.
and if you notice,
Why
there's-
didn't you scratch this out and find out if you're going to win or not?
because I thought it would be appropriate to do it with you here, because I always felt that you should be right next to me when I hit the jackpot, and then I could just absolutely rub it and destroy it in your face.
I wish I knew this was gonna happen. I would have wore protective clothing. Let's trust me, it's true. Here you go.
So, hey, do you know? So I'm gonna scratch that off soon.
Oh wow, you brought back the harmonica today.
I used to. I spent some time in the big house.
Is that so?
A little bit of time, and so.
Is that your parents' house? It's a big house.
Well,
it's a pretty big house.
It was a bigger house, yeah, but this was the real big house. And what I did was I learned how to play what they call this the C harp or the harmonica for the layman like yourself.
Wow.
What do you think about that, Anthony? Is Anthony with us?
No comment from Anthony.
Oh, they got nothing to come in here.
That's right.
Oh, they got nothing. Nothing.
Uh-oh. How can we hear Anthony?
I got 6. 6. I got 6. I don't know what that means. I got 6.
Turn on number 6.
Turn on number 6. Oh my God. Good luck. There we go. Go ahead, Anthony.
Hello.
There we go. What's going on, guys? I'm sorry about that. That was a problem on my end. I never
we
turned
felt
on.
Stifled in the corner.
Oh my God!
From the magic of technology. Oh my God! All
Did
the
you
way
see
in
what
the
I
other
did?
room.
You had Sally screaming Tesseract back here.
Oh my God! I
was like, Tesseract.
That's why I was wondering why you came in through here. I was like, why don't you just jump on? There you go. You see what happened? You see? Anyway, so wait, what was I asking, Anthony? Oh, I was talking about the harmonica.
We talked about the Marvel movie. Like
Right.
I saw it over the weekend too, and I felt exactly the same way. I felt like they just completely pushed the woman thing for no reason other than lazy writing. Like I thought it was just lazy writing.
Exactly.
Right.
But I thought I'd learned some things about her that I didn't know, so I liked that. But I was really disappointed.
Yeah. What did you learn? What else did I miss it? What did you learn? Did you? They showed when she came from.
I liked her beginning story.
Yeah.
But that was it. And I felt like it just could have been better. I thought the writing could have been better. It could have been more exciting. And I just felt like I was happy I saw it just so I could understand things when the Avenger movie comes out. And other than that, it was kind of a disappointment to me. But however, I really do think she's a great actress. And I thought they cast her well, and it's a shame they let her down with the writing.
Yeah, they kind of mailed it in. But Endgame is coming out soon, right? When does that come out?
That should be in a couple of months, right?
Right? Yeah.
Next month.
Next month.
month.
There's Anthony.
Yeah.
What's going on, Ant? Get some mic time, because I stifled you.
Yeah. 'Cause
say
you guys
something.
Shut us out.
I'm so sorry.
Usually every week,
I'm
Steve is
over
saying,
here
Anthony, just
typing
come
on
out
the
and say
screen.
something.
I know. I was like, what's
And
happening
finally
here? And then,
said something to say, and he couldn't say it.
well, so Anthony, I'm going to reveal. This is going to be good for all of us, because I'm going to. What happened? I just knocked my mic off now.
No, oh, there you go. Never mind.
Am I back? Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
So, yeah, I'm going to open this up right now. Wait, where's my lucky...
It's right there, Steve.
Oh, my God.
You should put your glasses on when you were looking for that.
That's
dude.
true. All right, so you ready?
Scratch some. Why don't you scratch right over here?
I'm going to scratch over there. You keep the audience entertained. I am one life away. If I get this scratch off and I get a life, I will... now, I could take this in two ways. I could get $1,000 a week for life, which in my case, with my luck, I would get hit by a bus on the way home. Or I could take the $1 million payout.
Wow.
You take the taxes out. You'd probably walk away with like what, $100? Ed Mangano gets the rest. He'll need that where he's going.
Yeah.
Wrong.
No, wrong.
Anyway, so all right.
So you ready for this?
Let's do it. Stay tuned.
This is exciting.
Here we go.
This is exciting.
I really need this.
So we have 2 lives. All we need is 1 life. And it's so exciting. What is it, Steve?
Didn't get it. $2,500.
$2,500?
No.
It's incredible.
No, you have to get 3 of those.
Oh.
I didn't win anything.
Oh, shoot.
Stinks.
I'm hiding.
This is, I'm
Either way, I was doomed.
This is ridiculous. I spent...
Violent.
Does anybody win these things? You have to be somebody from like Bluth, Iowa. Now, speaking of Bluth, Iowa, you like that?
Wow.
I have something from Bluth, Iowa here. Oh,
what's going on in Bluth?
This date in history. This is interesting. You'll like this. I like to do with this date in history. So, this date in history, in 1958, listen to this, Steve.
Right.
A U.S., what is this, a B-47, mistakenly, obviously, drops a nuclear bomb 15,000
What?
feet in Bluth. Where is this? This is in Bluth, South Carolina. And luckily, it was a tester. It didn't have any nuclear fission or capsules on it, so it was really just the shell of the bomb. But that didn't help the people whose house it plummeted through.
My God. So this was an actual nuclear warhead?
No, it wasn't the warhead. It was the actual, the body of the bomb that they were using as testers. So they were going out to see, no, it didn't. It did enough damage, though, Steve, to these poor people's home. So here's the two takeaways from this. Now, this is in 1958, mind you, although they're not doing any better with flights lately. But luckily for these people, they did not. There was no nuclear warhead attached.
Definitely.
And they had Geico.
Oh, okay. Well,
which has been serving for over 75 years, and it's not the money savings, it's the service you get. Who is now a proud sponsor of the Steve Squared Show. So we want to welcome Geico aboard.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And you see, I have the app too. You should get the Geico app.
We all have Geico. Do you have Geico?
I do have Geico. I'm telling you right now.
We do. We like Geico.
There you go. There's my Geico mobile.
Well, don't show me. Show the audience.
Show the audience. Look who it is. It's the. Oh, he's loading. It's the whatchamacallit. No, you're not going to find out my personal information today.
Show everybody your social security number, Steve.
That's not right.
All right. You want to know what else happened on this date?
What's that?
Monday, also a Monday, but a little far back. 1425 BC.
I was around then.
1425 BC.
Mm-hmm.
The Pharaoh of Egypt dead.
Dead.
Killed and dead.
What happened?
I think it was the locust or one of those plagues back then. So, and it was a Monday. I wonder if they had to turn the clocks back then too. The sundial. They were told turn the sun. They had to move the sun.
How do you move the sundial?
Well, he tried, and that's why he's dead. No good for the Pharaoh. I should have had a Pharaoh drop. Let me see he wasn't good. Hey, speaking of Samuel Jackson, we had a little bit from him.
Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
Whoa.
That's a great blurb right there from him.
I gotta find out how that happened.
Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
That's what happened to him.
I gotta find out how that happened.
You gotta find out. You gotta watch the movie. Mm-hmm. I don't want to give everything away.
No. No spoilers.
Also this has also happened on this date in history. Remember, this name will ring a bell to you because you like to go on game shows. Charles Van Doren.
Yes.
Tell us about Charles Van Doren.
Charles Van Doren was on this game show in the 1950s called 21. And 21 got caught doing this, but a lot of other shows eventually found out that all these other game shows were doing the same thing. They were giving answers to the contestants that they liked because for dramatic purpose or whatever. And when they got tired of a contestant, they would give the answers to someone else who would end up winning. All right, Steve, what's I'm waiting for your take on it.
Now, you have tried, right, to get on some game shows?
I've been on one. But
you were on one.
Yeah.
What was the name of that game show you were on? Anthony.
It was old.
I have to show you. I'll show Anthony one day. Steve was on a game show in California. Not The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that for next show we actually probably find the clip.
That would be.
I can find you that clip.
Oh, perfect.
What was the name of that game show, Steve?
It's called The Hollywood Game.
The Hollywood Game.
Yep.
And how much you did win a little cash?
I won $4,000.
$4,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then the IRS was after you because you didn't pay tax.
Oh, I did actually. It's so funny. You go right there in the studio, and they got people there with the forms, make you fill them out before you even go on stage. They won't let you. They won't let you play until you sign those papers.
No dough, no show.
No dough, no show.
That's true.
You should have waited for the button.
So But you did try something here too, right? Didn't you go on something? You went on a.
I've tried.
What game show did you try in
I've
New York?
tried on Millionaire when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was in New York.
Oh, I like that show.
Won a couple of times. I didn't win. I passed the test a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4, but for some reason my personality just didn't come through to the producers, so I didn't get in. So
Ain't nobody got time for that.
not everyone could be Stevie K.
That's true. I never tried to get on a game show. If I had to pick a game show, boy, this would be tough. I like The Price is Right. I'm pretty good with picking prices of useless products. I don't know. The Price is Right. What other game shows still on?
There are, but they're not around New York right now.
No, they're all shot in California.
I think there's some. I think Meredith Vieira is going to do a game show this season. Meredith Vieira.
Oh.
Who was hosting Millionaire for a few years.
Yes, I like her.
But I think I'm assuming that's going to be in New York.
Okay.
But we'll find out.
We'll get on that.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Definitely. I want to be a contestant. I like that Let's Make a Deal, too, where you dress up in an outfit.
Yes.
Let's go as the Steve Square show. They have to take us both. Let's go. We'll wear you wear that dirty hat, the Treos hat, and I'll wear my woke shirt.
Your woke shirt.
I'm returning this after the
I
show.
know because
I still have
it's
to
very
show.
smart.
Where are the tags?
You've kept the small sticker.
Where are the
there.
Where are the tags?
It's right on your shirt, dude.
Where are the tags? Show me this.
Behind your back.
Show the audience the tags.
All right, no. There it is.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Right there.
Thank you. Next. So I thought it'd be funny for the show, but nor do I want to keep this $20 shirt.
It looks good on you, dude.
No, I don't like it. It's not for me. I don't like it. I don't like where. I won't tell you where it's from. JCPenney.
Was it JCPenney?
Sure, it's a JCPenney. Now they had. I
was gonna say Target, but
they also had Marvel shirts too. I was gonna wear it because we were talking about Marvel, but it's
Marvel
the woke. You like the woke better.
That was a
Freddy Krueger.
That was funny.
Yeah. So instead of going to work today, and Anthony was at work.
You did go to work,
right?
didn't
Anthony, you were training. What were you doing today?
Training.
You were busy training. I was over at the mall buying a shirt. For 3 hours, I was picking out a shirt to wear for the show.
No, it was not.
This is what I do. I had.
Did
Denise know where I was?
I don't know.
She didn't even know, right? I told her I'm going to the locker room, and I went over to the mall and I just shopped for like 2 hours for this shirt.
Nice.
This is what I do.
So
I'm gonna. Oh, you missed the meeting. Anthony didn't come to our meeting.
You had a meeting. Right?
We had a PT meeting this morning.
Is Anthony? Are you in the PT department?
Sure, he is.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I thought you were like.
Can you keep your answer shorter?
I thought you were like the.
I turned it off.
Oh.
I thought you were like the. The computer guru. The multi.
What, our IT?
Social media.
What do you think? He's our social media guy?
I thought he was.
Yeah, all the computers suck.
That's true. They use like a Windows 95 program.
I thought you told me that once.
No, he's PT.
I'm wrong.
So
sorry, Anthony.
No, he's good. He was like running ragged today, training everybody, doing his thing, and I had my clients canceled as usual. They're gonna wait till May 31st to start their summer program.
Well, as you said, I joined this club, and I got a phone call from one of the trainers.
Oh.
I forgot his name already. So
I think it was Nate.
Yes, that's right.
It was Nate.
You remember?
So I saw your name on the list myself. So Steve joins. Steve joins the club, and unbeknownst to him, we call him to set up a consultation. I'm looking at the screen. I say, "Hey, Steve Mandrasina, I know this guy. I'm going to see him in a couple hours to do a show." And they call.
Is this you?
It wasn't me. One of the new trainers called you. Hey, we'd like to welcome you to 24-Hour Fitness. And whatever.
Do I still have it?
Nah, don't worry about it.
I think we should record the fit appointment.
Should we book it?
No, we should record it.
I haven't used my free. I haven't used my free session yet. But
so who should do it, Nate or you?
Oh no, not me. Let's
maybe
have
I'll
somebody.
do it.
Oh, Nate. Let's have Nate.
Nate.
Yeah.
We'll have Nate. Can you come to our location?
He's gonna try to make me buy PT packages.
And we'll do the Steve Squared show from remote. We'll do the show over there, and this will work.
I don't know.
I like this idea.
I'd rather have you train me or Anthony, but I don't know about.
First of all, you couldn't afford me. I'm PT elite. I'm so expensive. I have no clients. Nobody will buy my packages. Nobody buys my package. It's terrible.
That's just wrong.
Anyway, so What else happened?
No,
there was something. Oh, here's a funny story. No, it's not really funny.
Let's talk.
I don't. I can't read it. I write these notes before the show, and then of course I can't see it without my glasses.
Give me a hint.
Well, it was what's their faces? J-Lo and A-Rod.
They're engaged.
Good for them. It's about time.
He got J-Lo a big rock.
He got her a big rock, appraised, whatever in the millions. And
then,
so J-Lo gets engaged to A-Rod.
Right.
They're going to become J-Rod, and AOC and RBG will be attending. And you know what I think about that?
What?
F you. All of you.
Now, did you hear the story about Jose Canseco?
Oh, I love Jose Canseco.
Jose Canseco chimed in on this.
I'm going to be Jose Canseco. You remember that from Liar Liar?
Yes.
When he's screaming?
Jose Canseco chimed in on this wedding.
Is he going?
Marriage. And he says that A-Rod has cheated on J-Lo.
Wow. That I did not hear.
I mean, God.
Is that the Mandrusina News Minute?
I guess so. It's getting desperate now that...
He's saying, though, that he cheated on her with his ex-wife.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought he cheated on her with Jose Canseco. That would be messy.
I know.
2 steroid heads? You know what happens when you do a lot of juice? Those things happen. First of all, how would you cheat on J-Lo? Why would you cheat on J-Lo?
I know. She's fantastic.
Now, this is going to be... Does anybody know what husband number this is for her?
Is it 2 or 3?
No.
It's her second or it's her...
No, she's up to 3
so
or 4.
there was Mark
It's
Anthony.
her...
Wasn't there that guy Casper
yes.
between...
like a dancer or something.
Like her 4th and his 2nd or something.
Good.
Some guy named Casper.
Casper, the friendly ghost.
That was her rebound
She
after,
had, right.
after Mark Anthony.
After Mark Anthony. She went out, one of her background dancers.
Yeah, Casper's really... he's nice, He's very supportive.
I auditioned for one of her background dancers.
Really?
Yeah,
Which one?
that was in the early 2000s.
What was your name?
No, it was my name. I went as
Nino?
Stevie K, funny man Stevie K.
Well,
but she, I was taking up too much of her screen time. She didn't like that.
You're a star.
I am a star. So I'm not doing as well as she is. But apparently, so there's this. So we got to see if we can maybe somehow get invited to this wedding.
I figure, you're a Yankee. You're a Yankee fan. You should have connections here.
Hey, did you hear Justin Bieber's upset?
Why is he upset now?
He's depressed. He's not happy.
I would too if I was him. What's up?
He just said he posted a message for his fans to please pray for him because he's upset. That's what these people should be doing. These people that are making $12 an hour should pray for this kid that's making $2 million an hour.
Oh,
Stop it. Don't tell me about money and happiness, Stephen.
I agree. But you know what? Why even pay attention? Because they want attention.
That's what they want.
So
it was like Kyrie Irving. Did you hear him the other day?
God,
when he's like, I'm not happy. No, nobody's happy. I would be happy with that.
He's not happy because he thinks the earth is flat. He's right. He thinks he's going to fall off the earth.
Was that Kyrie that said that?
I believe it was. Was that Tyree?
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
I don't know. It wasn't Kyrie. It was I thought it was Wade. Was it Wade? No, it might have been Kyrie. It was one of the guards.
Yeah.
He said it was that they was putting that out there that
the earth was flat. Were these flat earthers.
What'd you think of that R. Kelly interview?
I thought that you wrote that for him.
Wrong.
I thought you directed him in that too. Something you would do. I could see you jumping up and down.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be getting at his door.
Good job.
He's
But how about stoic Gayle King did not flinch?
I was good for her. She didn't move.
Did not flinch for a minute.
I was scared for her. I thought he was going to go nuts. But they did a parody of it on SNL.
Yes, I saw it.
So Kenan Thompson's great. Leslie Jones is horrible.
Well,
stop it. She's terrible.
I like Leslie Jones, but that wasn't about her. It was about
it's
him.
Every skit she does, she flubs her lines. She does Aidy Bryant. Same thing. Terrible.
Really?
She's a little step above Leslie Jones, and Pete Davidson I could do without too. Those three can get right off the cast. They have to recast the show. It's getting bad. It's only the two of them are left.
Did you see a couple of weeks ago the bit with the with John Mulvaney Mulvaney was hosting?
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube.
The Bodega.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That was funny.
And it was so funny. It says, this thing never ends. I said, yeah, you think it's over, and it's still not over. It's just...
It was crazy.
He said, how can we make it just so ridiculous that people say, oh, enough already? But it was very funny.
Oh, it was, yeah. I thought that was... He's funny. I like him. Who's that other guy on Saturday Night Live? He's also a good... He's a good player on the SNL team. What's his name? He plays Putin sometimes.
Oh, Beck Bennett. Beck Bennett.
Very
good.
He's
yes,
funny.
I do.
He's really good. He plays a lot of different characters.
He does Pence.
He does all those kind of like politicians.
He did a pretty funny bit at the end of the show last week when he plays an actor.
Okay.
And he's someone else some other actor got a part.
Yeah.
And he loves it. He's trying to be nice, but he's saying these things. No, I can't believe it. But you know what he really means. It's just.
Now, I said which was that 2 weeks ago?
Which one?
The Mulvaney one.
John Mulvaney was 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. That was a good one. I went to. I was playing over the weekend pool with my dad.
Yeah.
My dad destroyed me in pool this weekend.
And Elvis was there.
He was.
Elvis's picture.
The King's always there. So my dad says, pick up some chalk. So when I walked over to get this beautiful woke T-shirt, I walked over to Dick's. I go over to the guy. This is unacceptable moment. Should I lead it in? Let me lead it in. Here we go.
Is that it?
No, that's not. That was when I was doing the game show bit.
This is unacceptable.
So I go over to the guy in Dick's and I ask
Dick's.
him.
I love the fact that you even name.
Oh yeah, I'm calling them out.
You're,
Dick's. So I asked for pool chalk, and he said, "Well, that's more of a summer item." But
what?
He thought I needed chalk for my in-ground pool. So that was a true story. So I said, no, for like a pool table. He said, I don't think. You check online. That's their go-to when they don't know what you're talking about. Go online. I said, you should get a new job.
I wonder, could you have just gone to a pool hall and bought some chalk from them?
I don't hang out at pool halls.
Hey.
There are no pool halls. What are you, in 1937? What are you, Bugsy and the Bowery Boys?
Prop comic. You had a whole box of chalk.
No, that's not the right chalk.
No?
That's workout chalk.
You can't use workout chalk?
No.
Come on.
You kidding? That's
Come on.
No, that's like talcum powder. You need that gritty, you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway.
By the way, speaking of Elvis, did you see that Elvis?
This is my bingo chip when me and my mom go.
See that.
I wanted to use it as a good luck to, I'm big on the luck thing. It didn't work.
Did you see that Elvis special a few weeks ago?
My parents did, yeah. It's great.
Everyone else had performed. It just shows you that really how entertainment has gone kind of down another level or so, maybe a little further.
Yeah, why?
Because they were doing all these versions, Shawn Mendes.
Oh, yeah.
And they were doing all these versions, and they should have just replayed the original comeback special.
My parents liked it. My mom enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think she did.
I would have liked to see the whole comeback special without the new people. Just play it as it was. Because TV looked really good. TV and Elvis never looked as good as they did that night.
All right.
It was a good-looking show.
So I think we got a chance to cover some movies. We talked about me not winning on the lottery. We talked about hepatitis. I like to talk about health scares.
Who doesn't?
That's true. Maybe you can come up with another health scare for our next show.
I know.
And for all of you out there, definitely tune in, and you can catch us on YouTube. The Steve Squared Show.
Of course.
Instagram, Steve Squared Show. Steve Square Show on Twitter. No
Square.
D. Square, no D.
No D.
You can catch Steve at his home. You can follow him around to work. If you can't get enough of Steve M., find him and just hang out with him for a day. We should do that. We should do a day where they win a day with you. Our listeners win a day. Maybe I'll put that up. Anthony will put that together. We'll do a win a day.
That's a good idea, Anthony.
All right.
Thank you, though.
Anyway, so I'll leave you to close us out today.
What are we going to leave with?
I think we should leave with...
I should have picked out a song.
You should have picked something out, but that's okay. Don't worry about it because I'll play us out. And as always, thank you so much for spending an hour of your time with me, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Sally and Anthony, for your help in the booth.
appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
More than I say, thank you, thank you, thank you.